Completely random fact. Just 16 ounces of milk can contain milk from more than 1,000 cows. We're Heidi and Frank.
Now, here's Heidi and Frank on 95.5 KLOS and KLOS HD1, Los Angeles.
The Heidi and Frank show, that random fact that I just gave you about the 16 ounces of milk can contain milk from more than 1,000 cows. I think that's gross.
Yeah, you and Eric were both making faces at each other. It's like, who cares?
What do you mean, who cares? I mean,
It's
the only
still-
time that's appropriate where you can drink something that's made from 1,000 different things is orange juice, where it's like, okay, we're going to squeeze a bunch of oranges in here and create orange juice. But to have like just a little dribble from 1,000 cows into your cereal, that's gross. I'll think this could be one cow. Why 1,000 in one jug?
It's like a meritage.
Well, I guess if they're all put into a giant, they're all like just.
I love that you guys will go out and bang a bunch of different women and not think twice about it, but drinking milk from several different cows grosses you out. You want to drink only from one cow.
If I spit into a cup and said, drink that.
Yeah.
Would that be better than everybody in the whole office spitting into the cup and then saying, drink this? Which would you rather have?
Here's the thing: if it's all people I know, if it's you and Eric, and it's
it's everybody in the office. You don't know all these cows. How can you know 1,000 cows?
But I don't know.
I don't even know one.
That's what I'm saying. It's
one
just
cow.
It's just as gross to drink.
Well, there is
something.
Bessie. I know her.
Yeah, and Elsie.
Everybody knows Bessie.
Elsie
and
too.
Sis.
Yeah, I mean, it's just as gross. One cow, I don't know. I'm drinking milk. I'm drinking fluid from an animal. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
But when you really think about it, it's disgusting.
Soy milk. I have no idea what that is.
I think it's milk from a soybean. No, it's just even more bizarre.
Confuses me even more. But I'd rather drink milk from 1,000 soybeans than 1,000 cows. John Heffron, he's been waiting around in the Bristol Farms green room. He'll be performing at the Brea Improv starting tonight, December 5th through the 8th.
There he is.
Brea.improv.com for tickets. At
Hey,
John
John.
Heffron on Twitter. What's up, man?
How are you guys?
We're good. How are you?
Good to
I gotta
see
say,
you.
it is very intimidating walking in with the doorbell, waiting behind the door there. That got my heart going a little bit.
Oh, the
See?
anticipation.
It builds
And
anticipation.
I'm in performer mode because usually when you do radio, you sit down there and they're like, "Wait, we have a guest. Who? I thought he was supposed to be here Wednesday. He's here. Yeah, just sit down. Okay, wait a second. How many songs back are we? Okay, let's move that. Play Roll to Me. That's only 2.5 minutes long. We'll be able to catch up. Anyway, who are you?
Oh,
give me an
that's
example
awful.
of some of the stuff you do on stage.
Do something funny. Say
don't you
something
hate
funny.
that?
Ugh.
Literally one of the most hated things.
Because you have done morning radio before. You did it in Detroit, right?
With Danny Bonaducci.
Danny Bonaducci. You still talk to Danny?
No.
You guys didn't end well?
That would be like talking. That would be like those ladies who were tied in a basement, still talking to their captor had he not killed himself. That would be the
So do
similar.
you still keep in touch with Ariel Castro?
Yeah,
Michelle?
no, I don't. I don't know. Yeah, it was kind of, Danny Bonaducci is who he is, right?
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
not saying anything out of school.
I know Danny.
But that guy was interesting guy because you never knew what guy you were going to get.
That is true. We worked with him too, and it takes a lot of energy.
Well, because, you go to work, you deal with somebody who's difficult. You know, okay, that person's difficult. I know what eggshells to walk on. But then when that person is the coolest person you've ever met, on Monday, then Tuesday you're worried he's going to kill you. Then Wednesday he wants you fired. Then Thursday is we're going to be syndicated. We're going to be everywhere together, son. And then so you never knew, But we were in a weird situation. The radio station we were on were very girl friendly. So it was a lot. There's songs I hear from that era that even to this day, one, I think I'm late, or I just get completely tired because there were songs that I had to listen to at like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I remember my first morning gig was at a female-oriented radio station, and Tainted Love has just been ruined for
Ours,
me.
here's ours. Ours was Eric Clapton, Tears in Heaven.
Oh, that's brutal for the morning.
I remember going to our boss going, "Hey, nobody wants to hear this song." Well, no, you know what we do? We test well. The song tests well. You're asking people at 4 p.m., do they like the song? Everyone's going to go, "Yeah, I like it." 5:30 morning, hey, want to hear about a dead kid? Not particularly.
no.
As you're driving to work?
Yeah. Or it was that, or Leanne Rhymes, How Do I Leave? And I say how do I leave because if you actually hear that song, she doesn't say live, she says leave.
How do I leave? He's right.
Yes. It'll drive you now for the rest of your life when you hear the song. I've just wrecked it for you.
Yeah, can somebody find that song? Because I want to listen
She
to it
says,
right
"How
now.
do I leap?" She doesn't even come close to saying "live." There's not live.
Are you saying leap or leave?
Leap. I think she says "leeb."
Oh, with L-E-E-B?
Like, how do
Sorta-
I leave?
Maybe she's trying to like ingratiate like the Hispanic audience. How do I leave? Maybe it's that. Maybe it's like a little, she's trying to.
You got to hear the song. It was,
Yeah, somebody find that song. I want to hear it.
and then it was that in like bop era.
Oh no!
Is when I did it, and then also, I went to if I told you the story, I got in a fight with Bonaducci on air. And we were interviewing Janet Jackson, and the producer wrote
in studio or on the phone.
She's on the phone.
Okay.
And you know how those goes
Yeah.
when they do about 700, so they're very friendly. And we're interviewing her, and Danny messes up whatever I think it was Velvet Rope was her album or something. He says something wrong, and the producer. He just starts going crazy. He goes, "What? I have the wrong!" And he goes over to the producer, and he's literally choking the producer. So I move my chair over to get him off of him, right? So
Yeah, break it up.
now I'm over here, and then I roll back. "So Janet, how's your traveling been like?" And then she would answer, I'd go, "What was it like growing up with all your brothers?" Over here. Nobody's listening. And then I think, so then during that melee, Danny hits me, right? And it wasn't vicious, I'm throwing a punch. It was just, there were
Like, get off
hands
me.
flying
Yeah.
everywhere. So he hits me, but he hits me so hard in the back of the head that I got a concussion. He literally hit me right. So I drive home that day, and the girlfriend I was dating at the time looks at my apartment and goes, "Why'd you buy a VCR?" And I go, "I didn't buy a VCR." She goes, "No, there's a thing from a store. It's your signature on the thing." I go, "I didn't buy a VCR." And then I looked. It was my signature. So I don't remember leaving the station. I don't remember. And this was in the 90s.
John.
Yeah, this was in the 90s when people bought DVD players. So he hit me so hard, I went back a generation in technology. Yeah, he actually. But it's funny that the radio station I worked at the time, I won't say the company. The next day, I forgot the amount, but I got a pretty decent amount of radio station stock. And
Hush money.
And me just being, I think I was even in my mid-20s at the time. It was my one and only radio gig. I thought, I'm such a good sidekick that this major corporation is giving me money. Boy, my appearance at Industry Bar from 6 to 8, that phoner that I did I must have been, "Hey, everybody, John Heffron. I'll be here from 6 to 8. Stop by, get some Q collectibles." I thought I was so good that they would give me stock for no reason at all.
Oh, my
But we also got in a fight with Danny, and this was what's great about it, is at a Matchbox 20 concert, because those concerts, gotta be careful.
Yeah, hardcore.
yeah.
You bring your chain wallet to those, because stuff's
Metal
gonna
You
pop
might
off
get
during
pushed around.
yeah. I remember at one point, Daddy took off his shirt and tried to fight an entire row of people. I'm not kidding you. I grew up in Detroit. This was at the Pine Knob Music Theater. Row JJ. I'll still remember it because I'm standing trying to go.
You remember the row.
The row, because he said JJ, and Danny's yelling at an entire row of people at a Matchbox 20 concert.
But what was the road doing?
We walked by, and one of the gentlemen who got free tickets and was forced to go with his daughter said we suck.
Oh,
as we were walking by.
Somebody's a little insecure.
Danny doesn't like criticism of any kind.
But it was fun, though. Like,
But it might have been-
ever since then, you know what I mean? That was my one. So there were some exciting moments and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Speaking of exciting moments, we always ask our guests when they come on the show about the time they lost their virginity.
Oh, boy.
When you go back.
A young John Heffron in Detroit.
Yeah.
Young John Heffron in Detroit.
You were watching a house burn down and got all romantic. And
You're watching everybody leave the city.
as people are
There we go.
marching
Since
by
you're the
you.
only one left in Detroit, we might as well, right?
I lost my virginity in a
How
house
old were
that
you?
cost $1.
I was 18 or 19.
Good for
That's
you.
all right, that's all right.
I was, I always hear those stories, and then now after the fact, you go to reunions and you hear about all these parties where there's always, craziness going on. I was like, how come you guys never lobbed in a phone call to me? Like, how did I not hear about this whole underworld of high school that was going
Yeah,
on?
this
Like what,
one
the
14.
rainbow party? You heard about that, obviously, right?
No,
That's
no,
where all the girls wear different color lipstick, and then you try to see about how many colors of the rainbow you can fit on your,
No one interested.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Never. Rainbow Bright, I think I'm going to play with that as a toy. Does that count?
Well, back when I was that age, rainbows weren't even gay yet. I mean, they were still just rainbows. I
Yeah,
don't think
with a pot of gold at the
I
end.
don't think gays actually took possession of the rainbow when I was that
Yeah, I
age.
know when that happened.
But when I was in high school, I think in high school I wrestled. My junior year, I wrestled 98 pounds. Maybe towards my senior year, I bulked up and wrestled 105. And I was like about 5'4". So, yeah.
Okay.
I was
way.
very
Yeah.
Michael Anthony Hallish.
Okay.
I was that kid.
right.
Was it a charity lay from some female in high school, or was she older?
Or a girlfriend.
I think she was from a neighboring one of our rivaling cities. And I don't even know. I think you could go to like one of those clubs where at the time when you were like 18, like those all ages type really creepy places. And I think it was that. And then I think I mentioned her name. I don't remember what her last name was, like to people who grew up with her. And they're like, oh, yeah, you and about a million other people. You know what I mean? But that's
So it wasn't
okay.
even special.
Nah.
But I guess guys don't care.
Nah.
Guys don't care as much about it being special, right? And you rarely
It's probably
remember.
one of the most, when you think about it, for everybody, guys or girls, the most overrated life experiences of all
I
time.
don't remember it. I don't remember it being overly traumatic. Like I think once it happened, I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty much what I saw in the movies. Like I don't remember it being overly.
But did you have nerves about? I hope I'm good at this.
No, I could care less.
You didn't care. You just
No, I
wanted
was
it to
more-
happen.
I was just more excited. And I think now would even be kind of, not that I'm telling kids out there that you should hold out as long as possible.
But
back then, once it happened, you had to get in your car and drive over to your buddy's house, knock on their door. Dude, you know what just happened? Like you couldn't text them.
right.
You couldn't call them and say like, here, you were just driving around the neighborhood.
I gotta tell
Yeah,
somebody.
I gotta show up. Is the arcade open? I totally gotta find. So it was a little bit, so you got to hold
That's
it.
so true.
Yeah. I couldn't Instagram it. You know what I mean? There was
Yeah.
no selfie of me and her beforehand. So
John's going to be performing at the Brea Improv starting tonight through the 8th. For tickets, go to brea.improv.com and follow him on Twitter at John Heffron. You still doing the podcast?
I don't do a podcast anymore. That's crazy talk.
You got out of
It's a lot
doing
of
the
work, huh?
Heffron and Reap? What happened?
Yeah, I
to that?
have Reap kind of went off and got all famous and stuff like that. And then I was, every comic does a podcast.
Yeah.
And then to stand out, and then every comic does a podcast and talks about pot. And then they show, and then every comic does a podcast where they want to prove to people they know how to swear. So that bored me. That just really, and having radio experience, I could never, it just always seemed like I was doing it in my bedroom.
Yeah, that's true.
recording a thing, and then doing really kind of, you get in the moment, then your wife knocks on the door. Yeah, are you going to go to the store, or should I just go now? You're like, I'm trying to do a podcast. It reminded me like when I
on-air
yeah,
sign.
Yeah, it reminded me when I was a kid trying to make a mixtape, when I had my cassette player, and you're waiting for the song, and your mom's yelling. You're like, Mom, I'm trying to make a mixtape. And then you'd hear your song, and you'd hit record, then the DJ would start talking.
You're like,
Man,
shut up!
oh, I hated that, dude. You wrecked it. Now I got to wait till tomorrow's Hot 9 at 9.
Yeah, when you're only doing a podcast, it really does take the magic out of it, doesn't it? John, thank you so much for coming in, man. Anytime,
appreciate it.
Anytime you want to come back, 1-800-955-5567 is the number. We'll be right back. We are Heidi and Frank.
That was just a little sample of the Heidi and Frank show on 95.5 KLOS. Now, to get the show in its entirety, on demand, and if you want to watch the show, we webcast it every day, all you have to do is go to HeidiandFrank.com and become a premium package member. Do it right now.